Hey everybody, it's Matthew here at Earthworks Gardens. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about what's happening in the houseplant world. Just the other day I was thinking a lot about it and I made a few phone calls to some of the growers, so I want to share some of the comments and some of the things that are happening in our industry within the realm of houseplants. It's been an incredible year across the board for garden centers. With everything that's going on this year, a lot of people are staying home. They're doing a lot of things in their landscape and also starting to bring plants into their home. And in a lot of ways, I'm thinking about this whole houseplant craze as what I'm thinking of as the houseplant renaissance. We're seeing a resurgence in younger people, the millennials, and even the generation behind them, really getting excited about houseplants for the first time. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the houseplants that we have here in the greenhouse. I'm going to give you a tour, talk a little bit about what's going on in the industry and what you guys can expect here in the future. All right, so here at Earthworks, if you haven't been here in a while, we have a brand new greenhouse. This year, first year we've ever had a greenhouse. Prior to that, we have the building that we were able to bring in small amounts of houseplants and we're able to keep them in a relatively small space that was not necessarily conducive to keeping houseplants healthy. I would bring in small amounts so I could turn them quickly so they didn't sit around for very long, because that indoor environment there in our greenhouse didn't provide enough light, didn't have enough humidity to keep plants looking good and healthy for long periods of time. However, with the greenhouse, it's open air, we have the humidity, we have much better lighting, and so we're able to keep a lot larger selection and more plants in each selection. So I was really excited at the beginning of spring. Actually, before spring in the wintertime, I was putting together orders for what I wanted to bring in the spring to offer you guys. And I started making phone calls to different growers, trying to build relationships for the first time with growers that I wasn't able to order from before down in Miami, in the Homestead area. And I started getting feedback from these growers. They were frazzled, they were anxious, they didn't know what was going on, but suddenly in I'd say like November, December of last year, the demand for houseplants spiked. So even before what was happening with COVID started occurring, there was a demand for houseplants. And it's been explained now, we're seeing why it's happening, and it really has to do with you millennials out there. You guys are driving the market in houseplants. It has gone through the roof because of social media and different online websites showing photos of these houseplants. People are getting interested in a lot of these exotic varieties that at one time were very easy for us to get a hold of, but now are very difficult for us to get a hold of because the supply hasn't yet caught up with the demand. Then, as you guys know, the issue with COVID came into play, and then a lot of these farms at all different levels in supply chain were down for about 4 to 6 weeks in the springtime, which created this huge hiccup that created ripple effects throughout the industry. And it's been hard for the growers to be able to get these plants to the garden centers, to the retail outlets in an amount of time that's able to keep up with the demand. So now it's October 2020, and for the first time now, 10 months later, I'm just now starting to see plants for the first time that I was trying to get last year, about 12 months ago. So I'm going to show you some of those plants. I was so excited. I was opening boxes yesterday. I had 3 different greenhouses I ordered from. I had one shipper, Mr. John Hodel. He picks up all my plants on his way up through Florida into Jacksonville. And it was like Christmas morning. I was opening these boxes, seeing plants I hadn't seen for months and years. Some of these plants I have never seen before, only in photos online. So I'm going to go through some of these really cool plants that are unusual, that have been historically hard to find this last 12 to 18 months, go into a little bit about them, and then let you guys know that we're hoping for this coming spring, the growers, the brokers in the industry are really hoping and thinking that things are going to normalize a little bit, which is going to do several things. One, it's going to allow the varieties that you're looking for to be available, and 2, hopefully normalize prices and bring prices back down. So don't be tempted to buy a lot of these plants online that are like the prices are jacked up. I mean, if they seem like they're jacked up, they probably are jacked up, because what's happening is people are getting a hold of them. they're buying them at retail and then reselling them and marking them up again. So if you can buy them from a garden center, we're buying at wholesale and just doing a regular markup on those. So hopefully these prices will begin to normalize here in the next 3 to 6 months, and you all will be able to buy plants at an affordable price that's fair for everybody. All right, so here's the first plant we're going to talk about. It's really cool. Kind of looks like a philodendron. That's actually a variety of Monstera, and I want to clarify that a little bit. A lot of people think that philodendrons and Monsteras are the same. They're not. They're similar, they're related, but they are two separate species of plants. So this is a Monstera, this is pertusum. So right now it doesn't have any of the signature holes in the leaves, but as it matures, it will begin to split and show holes in it. This is going to be an upright kind of vining variety like most Monsteras. So where Monsteras come from, they are like jungle vines, and they creep and they crawl and they climb up trees. So this little guy right here, Monstera pertusum, first time I've ever touched this plant. I've only seen it before. Really fair price, $8.99. These are not gonna last. I was able to get 60 of them. We'll see if they make it a few weeks. All right, this here is a philodendron. This is Philodendron birkin. You'll see it's got signature stripes on the leaves. This is a more compact plant. So it's not going to be like a vine like the Monsteras. So if you don't have a lot of room or a lot of space, this is going to be a much better choice. Still treat it like the other philodendrons and other Monsteras, similar conditions as far as light, moisture levels. But this is going to give you a nice striped leaf that really stands out. And it's got a really good price on it, $14.99. All right, this is Farfugium FIREFLY. Really cool spots on it that kind of glow, like yellow glowing orbs on the leaves, makes it really different. This is also a compact, bushy type plant. First time we've ever had this variety. There are some larger varieties of Farfugium. This is a smaller, more compact variety. Makes a great house plant or in lower light outdoors. Guys, come check them out. I don't think these are going to last long either. Okay, we have the red and the green Maranta, otherwise known as the prayer plant. These are very easy to grow house plants. They have been very difficult to get. This is the first time I've had them in this year. I have them in 4-inch in the red and the green. I also have the green in 6-inch. These are Raphidophora tetraspermum. These are also a Monstera type variety. They're vining. They do have the leaves that are serrated like this with the big cuts in them. They can grow pretty quickly. Like compared to a Monstera, they're going to be a faster grower. They're a little more slender and sleek. The leaves don't get as big as the Monsteras, like the big round leaves of the Monsteras. They're going to be more oval shaped, a little more slender. This is a really nice addition to anyone's collection who likes the Monstera varieties. The Raphidophora, check it out. This is a new variety. If you're looking at this, you probably say, well, that looks like a ZZ plant. Well, it is a type of ZZ plant. It is not a ZZ plant, it is the Zenzi plant. This is the first time I've ever seen this. The broker from the farms from which I bought these had this available. I had never even heard of it yet. So you guys, I have like 12 of these. I don't think they'll make it a month here. This is Monstera adansonii. This is where the Swiss cheese got its name. I mean, look how many holes are in these little leaves here. And the leaves even try to grow through the holes in the other leaf, which is kind of funny. These are vining as well, very long, very slender, small leaves, faster growing than the larger Monsteras. This is going to be a hot seller this year. The prices are really fair. They are $27.99. However, these things, I've been trying to get these for so long. So I just did regular markup on these, but get them now. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, maybe 5 plants in each one, so you can separate these. So you do the division, makes the price really good. You can put these in separate containers. They're still pretty young, and then you can transplant them and separate them pretty easily. This little guy is Philodendron chordatum, a really cool vining philodendron. It's not going to get the Swiss cheese effect with the holes in the serrated leaves. However, it's got a nice kind of heart-shaped leaf, a faster growing vine than the other Monsteras and philodendrons. We got these little 3-inch cups at $3.99. These are going to fly out of here fast. These will do great in hanging baskets or in containers, just letting them drape over the top. This is Philodendron Brasil, similar to the green chordatum that I just showed you earlier. This one's got a variegated leaf. It's got some yellow leaves, striped leaves. This is also a vining plant. Kind of has a similar look to pothos, but the shapes of the leaves are completely different, and it is a true philodendron. These are going to be great also in hanging baskets or draping over pots. Those are just a few highlights of what we have in the greenhouse. We have so many different varieties in that we have not had before. I just wanted to touch on a few of them. Come check it out. We got really good supplies right now at really great prices. Check us out at Earthworks Gardens. Check us out online at earthworksjacks.com.